This is all after a 22-year-old Kurdish woman was basically pulled off the street by their morality police for wearing a headscarf in an inappropriate fashion. I don't even know what that means. Then she died, and the protests say she died after being hit on the head in custody. But this is, if you've seen the stuff online, if you've seen all these videos, there's something encouraging here about the frustrations of the Iranian people finally standing up and fighting this intolerant regime that's part of. So it's incredibly inspiring. Of course, the people you're not seeing tweet about that and tweet encouragement are the usual suspects from the far left in America and in the UK who aren't somehow, they'll tweet about everything else, but they won't tweet about this particular thing. The bravery of these women in Iran standing up and, risking their lives, literally, now, as we see. And I think they're amazing, some of the stuff.
Why are these sort of so-called progressive figures not tweeting?
Because they're cowards and they're hypocrites.
Well, what makes them afraid to speak out?
Because they don't want to alienate their own base, because some of them, people like Corbyn, appeared on Iranian TV, and was paid £20,000 to do so, and so they don't want to.
So it all ties in with the narrative of support for the Arab world and hatred of Israel.
Oh, well, of course, but this is what the president's saying. He's saying, it's the United States and the European countries. No, this is a homegrown protest movement coming out because of the injustice and the way that they treat their own citizens. And what an amazing thing. But, the fact that people are dying, literally, and seeing the violence, seeing you see policemen, attacking women, beating them with, massive truncheons. It's heartbreaking.
It's very interesting that Iran is clearly building up to, it's almost a civil war. Yeah. Because there's clearly sort of two ideological viewpoints which are very much clashing with each other. Sort of you have the conservative traditionalist people who believe that the right way to have society is that you have things like morality police, and they believe that that is the correct way to live.
It's a theocracy.
Yeah, and then on the other side you have people who disagree, and this country is now sort of starting to tear itself apart a little. But what is interesting is that there appear to have been protests on both sides. So there have been pro-regime protests against the protesters.
But they've been pushed by the regime, obviously. But in terms of the numbers game, it's the youth who mostly are protesting, and some older women as well. So, but the youth dominate the numbers when it comes to the country. It's the under 30s, I think, is like the majority of the country now or something. And they are not going to take sort of living under that kind of theocratic state any longer.
No, if I cite this tweet from Maya Touzi, who's an Iranian man and broadcaster based and living here in the UK now, and he tweeted, "Iran is falling. We are seeing the final days of the Islamic occupation that started in 1979. A number of cities and towns are now fully in control of the brave Iranian protesters as the regime gets desperate. We can but hope."
Wow.
We can but hope. But